What is up? Today I just wanted to do a video about why I moved into my car again. I say again because I did this once. I lived in a car a year ago. I was with someone else. Maybe one day I will do a video on that. One of the reasons why I why I moved into my car again is because, yeah, I did want to, because it's something that I enjoy, but I'll get to that in a second. I wanted to first talk about the money aspect. So, I just recently moved out to Colorado. It was about 3 months ago, and I did move into a house. I had a summer lease. It was for 3 months from May to August. The time was approaching to when I had to start thinking about where I wanted to move out and who I wanted to live with, where I wanted to live, because realistically I don't have anything holding me down anywhere, besides the fact that I do have a job that I have to show up to. But I mean, the jobs that I'm in, they're available everywhere, so that wasn't really a big thing for me then. But yeah, I didn't have anything tying me down, so I had a lot of options, and I had, a lot of people I could live with. Since I'm on my own, I could have moved in with anybody. I had like a friend that we were thinking about moving in together. So I did have a lot of options, but the one thing that was always on my mind is rent. Rent is absolutely outrageous in my opinion. I think that the cost of living in general is just outrageous these days. It takes a lot of money just to keep yourself alive, and just the way that I think, the perspective that I have, I don't agree with that. I don't think it should be that way. I don't think it should cost me over $700 a month just to pay for everything that I need to survive. And then on top of that, things that I actually enjoy doing, or things that I want to save up for, or dreams that I have, that also costs money too. So I've never been like in agreement with that. I've always wished that I could live for free. I mean, there is a lot of other situations where you could live for free, but besides living in a car, those were my two options. Live with my parents for free, or buy a house, which neither of those were options for me. So that was just the thing on my mind, was just, especially out in Colorado, rent is not cheap. For one person, the average cost of rent out here is like, in the area that I am in right now, would be like $500 to $1,000 a month. It's just like, when you add that up over the course of a year, it's like thousands of dollars. And it just feels like wasted money to me, because you are getting something out of it. Obviously, you have a place to stay, but it's like, it's so expensive just to have a home and just to have a place to stay. And then you have to pay for water, you have to pay for electricity, you have to pay for internet, you have to pay for, that's just the house, just the rent, not even accounting all your other expenses like insurance, car payments, literally anything. You're just paying so much money just to have a place. And for someone who dropped out of college and works entry-level jobs now, and in the customer service industry, in the retail industry, it's just not sustainable. It's really just not sustainable for me to be in a house. I can afford it, I really can. I could have put the money down, I can pay monthly that amount, it's just I don't want to. It's not just a financial expense for me, it comes at a greater expense, and that expense is my energy and my time and my interest and my happiness. Like, I work very hard for my money, and I have to show up to work every day, and I work for that paycheck. So it's like, I don't want that to go to something that just seems meaningless to me. It feels like wasted money. Like, I'm paying so much money just to live in this house, and I just don't agree with it. I really just don't. I don't really have a longer explanation for that. I just don't want to be using my money like that, because it's a big amount of money. And if you're living in a car and you don't have the rent expense, that's money that's just going straight into your pocket that can be invested in other ways that I think are better fit for my situation and what I want to accomplish in life. And yeah, so I can't afford it. I just don't want to. And I don't know, I can't afford it, but like, really, can I? I'm working my ass off for this paycheck, and pretty much the entirety of it is going to rent. And then you do it all again the next week, you do it all again the next month, and then it never really ends because you always need a place to stay. So it's just never ending. And I like got into that perspective, I got into that mindset where I'm just like, fuck, like, this is going to be for the rest of my life. Like, I'm always going to need to pay rent, and I didn't like that. It's like, especially like I said with these entry-level jobs, it's just like you can't ever really get ahead when you're in that situation. And when you're making $12 an hour and your rent is $500 a month, it's difficult. It's difficult to get ahead, and it definitely is stressful, and it takes a toll on you. Like, everybody wants to act like it doesn't, but deep down we all know that it does, and it sucks, and the cost of living is so high. And yeah, I just see the advantages of saving that money, putting it into my pocket, investing it somewhere else, and just living in my car. So yeah, money was one of the big reasons. And then also going back to like renting a place, leases normally last a year. You have the summer sublease, which I did, which only lasted 3 months, which is an option, but then you're constantly looking for another place. You're moving your stuff in, and then you're constantly moving it out. I can't see myself committing to signing a 1-year lease. That's one of the things that was like kind of freaking me out, honestly. I've been bouncing around different places for almost 3 years now, and I've kind of come to enjoy it. I like moving to new places every so often and not staying in one place for a long time. I feel like I experience life differently, and I meet a lot of people. I learn a lot of new things fast. I've learned how to be independent and count on myself. I'm still learning, but yeah, I just become acclimated to it, and I actually enjoy not being in one place for a long time. My life has changed so much, and it changes so rapidly, and things come up, and that's just the truth. Our lives are constantly in flux, and you never really know what's going to happen the next day, the next month, the next year. Like, my life, I've just seen my life flip and just, upside down. I never even would have known like any of this was going to happen, anything in my life. I could have never predicted it. So for me to just honorably sign a piece of paper that says I'm going to commit to this one place, I'm going to come back to this one place for the next year, I'm going to have a job in this place for the next year, I'm going to experience life in this place for the next year, I just can't commit to it. I don't want to, and I don't want to sign something and regret it. I don't know if that would necessarily be the case, but I didn't want that to be the case. I didn't want to regret it, and yeah, so I just don't want to sign a lease. I don't want to be tied down to something. I don't really think that's negative. I think it's just my nature and my love of experiencing life. Some people might interpret it as I can't commit and I'm scared of commitment, but I don't really think that. Also, having to do with signing a lease is roommates. I did have a friend that did want to move in with me, so but that was like kind of on the rocks a little bit. I wasn't really sure about it, and I wasn't like, not in a negative way, it's just I wasn't really sure about what I wanted to do and who I wanted to live with. But also, if that didn't work out, the only option I had other than that was to move in with random people. And after I just ended my 3-month lease with these roommates, I don't ever want to do that again. I really don't. I really don't want to move in with random people unless they're not random and I actually get to meet them and hang out with them a little bit before I move in and maybe be friends, maybe get to know them, like. But yeah, it just never works out. I get into little bickerments with my roommates. I hardly ever say anything to them about what they do and what bothers me and how messy they are and the little things, because I know that I do little things, and if we constantly sit here and bicker about the little things that we do, like, I just accept, like, you have roommates, it's not just your space, like, you're sharing it with other people. You can't be picky. That's how I see it as. But other people don't see it that way, and then things come up and people don't know how to communicate properly and things get tense, and then I just don't feel comfortable there. Like, it's just weird. I like to have a safe place to be. I like my home to be somewhere I look forward to coming home to. Yeah, I just don't want to do that again. I don't want to move in with random people. I don't want to be uncomfortable in my own house. So that was just something I had to consider. That's just the problem with random roommates. You never know what you're gonna get. You don't know these people. You don't know how they act, how they live. Like, it's just a risk. And I knew that going into this last lease, that it was a risk. Yeah, I don't want to like rush into something. That was something that I felt like I was doing. When I rush into things, I'm not thinking clearly, and it doesn't really turn out right when I rush into it. And that's exactly what I had to do. I had to find a place because at the end of the month I was being kicked out. So yeah, I did not want to rush into a lease, and I did not want to live with random roommates. I also really believe in sacrifice. Like I said with the money, I see the advantages of saving my money and investing it into things that are going to create money for me in the future. And not that I really see this as a sacrifice anymore, because I don't feel like I'm really sacrificing anything because I actually enjoy this. Maybe like comfortability, maybe convenience, sacrificing convenience, like not having electricity all the time, not having a bathroom or a shower, not having anywhere to cook necessarily, which all of those can be figured out, but the convenience. That was one of my thoughts when I first was thinking about it, was think of if I didn't have to pay rent. I just kept thinking that, like, what if I didn't have to pay rent? What if I didn't have to do this and I could just live for free, basically? And in the sense of not having to pay rent, I still have bills, I still have to pay for food, I still have to pay for literally everything else besides rent, but I've sacrificed before and I've reaped the rewards of it, and I'm planning something, I'm planning things for my future, so it's like I see how this will benefit me, I see what this can do for me. I also had the idea that this was going to instill a lot of self-discipline in me, which I think even just now being in here for a week, it definitely has. So you're living in a car, you don't really have a lot of space to just like chill and hang out in, and just do nothing. So that was kind of one of my motivators, was like, I won't have a lot of time to just sit and chill. I will have a lot of time to go to the library, and I'll be going to the gym every morning. Maybe I can get in a little bit of a workout routine. You know, every day I just have to do the same thing. I have to get up, I have to go to where I shower, I have to go to the grocery store, and then if I work that day I have to go to work. Like, that's a good routine. And I feel like when I'm in a house, there's much time to be lazy, there's much time to lay around. And I just feel like when I'm in a car, it's like I want to get out and do shit. I can be outside and eat my meals. I could be outside and prepare my meals. I can be outside and work on my computer. I can go to the library and work on my computer. Like, I could do so many different things and experience the world in so many different ways. So I just see it putting so much self-discipline in me because that's what that's what you need to accomplish your goals and to be successful. Is you need to do things, you need to take action, and you need to have self-discipline and do the things that you need to do to get somewhere. And back to what I said in the beginning, I just really enjoy it. I really love this lifestyle. Like, I know it doesn't make sense to a lot of people, and most people, it's not going to go well with them, but I don't really care. It's time, I've noticed, to just be who I am and stop hiding. I've hid for so long. I've hid, I feel like, my entire life about who I really am. I'm not a normal person, and that's totally fine. There's other not normal people out there. I just haven't come into contact with a lot of them in my life. So I've always just felt like this weird ass person, and it hurt my feelings so bad when people would judge me and say I'm weird because I care about my health and I like animals and I'm just interested in bettering myself all the time, and I like doing things like this and living out of my car and living minimalistic. And it was just time to just own it and just be like, I just want to do this. I really enjoy it, and I forgot how much I really enjoyed it. And I enjoy it so much better this time because I'm not with somebody else and I'm not in the same situation that I was in. But yeah, I get to eat out. Eating outside is one of my favorite things, and doing yoga in the morning outside is one of my favorite things. I really like being outside in the morning. I like spending the majority of my time outside, and I thought that this was the best way to do it, was to live in a car and get outside and experience life. And I also feel like I meet so many different people this way. We have really good conversations and I meet people so much easier. I don't know. I put myself out there more when I'm living in a car because you have to. So I just feel like it's just a really different experience. It's just something you have to experience. It just, I actually feel like I'm putting myself out into the world. Whereas in a house, I become a little bit of a homebody. And even like the first 3 months that I lived in a house in Colorado, I hardly saw outside of my house. I hardly saw any of Colorado, which was so weird to me because when I moved out here for the first time, I moved out here in a car. And I was everywhere. I saw so much, I hiked so much, I saw so much nature. Like when you live in a car, your home is your car and you have all your things with you. I just like the convenience. I like the minimalistic side of it. But yeah, I just feel like this is the way that I want to experience life, and I was actually excited to do it. So why not do it? The worst thing that could have happened was that I didn't like it, and I had money to get a place if I didn't like it, so I wasn't really worried about the risk. And also, like, what risk really is there? I was just like, I just want to go for it. I just want to try it and see if I like it again. And I freaking love it. I freaking do. Ever since I made this change like a week ago, I feel like I've enjoyed life so much more. I just feel like I have a bit more peace. It's kind of funny though, because people who I used to work with when I worked in Ohio, a few of them asked me, like some of my family members were like, oh, you're not going out there to live in a car again? I'm like, no, I have a place. Like, I'm not gonna do something that crazy again. I learned my lesson the first time. And here I am again, doing it again because it's just who I am. But it's funny because I was like, no, are you freaking crazy? I'm never doing that again. And I actually kind of talked shit on it and was like, that way of living was just so stressful and so unnecessary. But really it wasn't. It really wasn't. I think I was only thinking of that because of the situation I was in, which was an abusive relationship. And obviously I'm going to feel that way about an abusive relationship because it's going to affect every single part of my life, and it made me feel like I wanted to die. So yeah, when I came back, I was like, fuck that, I never want to do that again. But you live and you learn. So yeah, I don't know how long I'll be doing this for. I don't think that I'll be getting a house anytime soon. I've just learned through life to just stop being so technical and stop being so attached to these things and these beliefs. Life changes so fast. and you just never really know what decisions you're going to make until you are in that position. So I'm learning through life to just be in the present, and it is what it is right now. I want to live in this car. Don't know how long it'll last, but I'm enjoying it for the moment. So I don't feel homeless. I have money, and I don't want to like glamorize this, because there are people who live in their cars because that's the only choice that they have. And I mean, I've been in that situation, and I know what it feels like, and this is pretty different. If you understand it and you're interested in the same things, let's be friends. I just wanted to share that because I think people are interested in this and people get curious about it, and not everybody lives in their car twice in their life. It's my ultimate life goal. I'm living my dream right now. I bought rollerblades and I've been having a blast going out and rollerblading everywhere every day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I said, follow my Instagram because I post on there so much throughout the day. And also my Twitter. I don't post as much on Twitter, but I post good stuff on there. I post a lot of my thoughts, so definitely go follow me there. I hope you have a good day and continue to stay weird. That's why I named this channel That Weirdo Bee, because it's kind of like the word bitch that you just want to reclaim. I've been called a weirdo my entire life, and it's hurt me so bad because I don't feel weird. I just feel like I am who I am, and this is what I'm interested in, and it would always hurt me so bad. And it was just like 2 weeks ago when I heard my roommates calling me a weirdo. Someone called me a specimen. Like, that's what made this name. That's what popped into my head. Like, yes, I am that weirdo, and now I'm just going to embrace it. Like, I love doing this. I love being like this. I guess it's weird to normal society. I feel like it's a really good thing that a lot of people call me weird, and a lot of people don't understand the things that I'm into, because to me that means I'm doing something right, and I'm just different, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm reclaiming that word, and I'm starting to feel really good about being myself and being a weirdo. So yeah, stay weird, and don't feel bad about it, because what you like isn't weird, it's just what you like. And there's so many different paths. It's just, just be you. So yeah, subscribe for more videos, and have a good day.